What up, everybody, and welcome back. So this list is not for gearheads. It's for people who picked their rides based on how much damage it could do before it exploded. So back in the 90s, racing games weren't clean, they weren't fair, and honestly, they didn't even feel legal. If it didn't have a rocket launcher, a flaming school bus, or a fist fight on a motorcycle, it wasn't worth playing. So these are my top 5 racing combat games for the PS1. They all turned the open road into an active crime scene.
Let's get into it.
Number 5, Destruction Derby, 1995. The original Who Needs Brakes simulator. This game didn't pretend to be about racing. You'd get more points for causing a 12-car pileup than for actually finishing a lap. The announcer sounded like he was narrating a demolition derby in a basement, and the graphics looked like a fender bender rendered in Microsoft Paint, but somehow it was pure gold. Number 4, Roll Cage, 1999. Because gravity is for cowards. This game let you drive on walls, ceilings, and your own bad decisions. If you flipped over, the car just kept going. It was fast, twitchy, and powered by a drum and bass soundtrack that made your living room feel like a rave in a tunnel, criminally slept on. Number 3, Vigilante 8, 1998. The funky little cousin of Twisted Metal. If that cousin was into conspiracy theories and disco. Set in an alternate 1970s, you drove cars armed to the teeth while trying to stop or join a government cover-up. There were flying school buses, oil-drenched ambushes, and a whole lot of funk. It was groovy, chaotic, and somehow felt cooler than it had any right to be. Number 2, Twisted Metal 2, 1996. The chaotic evil of car combat games, and somehow also an international incident. This wasn't just a game, it was a demolition derby with lore, hosted by a demon named Calypso, who granted your darkest wish if you survived. You drove through exploding versions of Paris, New York, and Antarctica in vehicles that looked like a Mad Max casting call. Each character had their own tragic backstory. Sweet Tooth was an escaped serial killer clown in an ice cream truck. Mr. Grimm was a literal Grim Reaper on a motorcycle, and Axel was a guy trapped between 2 giant wheels because reasons. And the weapons? You had everything from homing missiles to napalm to freeze rays. It wasn't just combat, it was psychological warfare at 60 miles per hour. Twisted Metal 2 wasn't just the best in the series, it was a rite of passage for any PS1 kid who wanted to blow up the world with style. Number 1, Roadrash, 1995. My personal favorite of the genre, seeing as it was my first PlayStation game I got when I was a little kid. The original Roadrash on PS1 was less of a racing game and more of a biker gang simulator with an attitude problem. You weren't racing to win, you were racing to survive a full contact sprint down a 2-lane highway while dodging cars, cops, and fists. You could punch, kick, and chain whip rival racers off their bikes like a roadside bar brawl at 100 miles per hour. The PS1 version had full motion video cutscenes that looked like a VHS tape recorded during a police sting operation. These were my favorite parts. And the soundtrack, absolutely iconic. Bands like Soundgarden, Swerve Driver, and Monster Magnet gave the game this grungy, greasy vibe that felt like asphalt under your fingernails. And as you can see, the cutscenes were not forgiving, and they made you feel really bad if you lost. This wasn't some polished, neon kart racer. It was gritty, grimy, and totally lawless. Road Rash was the reason every kid with a PS1 briefly thought they could survive on a motorcycle with 0 gear and unlimited spite. If these games taught us anything, it's that speed limits are for cowards, seatbelts are optional, and every vehicle is one bad decision away from being turned into a weapon. These weren't just racing games. These were playable temper tantrums with sick soundtracks. Drop your favorite moment of vehicular chaos in the comments. And if you're there, you could leave a like. Hell, you could even subscribe. Anyways,
I'll see you on the next one.